Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to EFL Championship predictions. The EFL Championship is back this weekend. We didn't have any games in midweek, Sophie.
No, but we did have the Prem. But the best league in the world's back on the weekend.
We love the Championship, and we know you guys do too. Before we get anywhere, let's make sure we hit the like target. 999 likes is always going to be the target, because you guys can always smash that. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. It is free to do. And do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'm sure loads of you guys watching are still yet to subscribe. We're so close to 50,000 subscribers, so please do hit the subscribe button. And Sophie, last week I did get the better of you in a 10-6 victory. Which has brought me a bit closer, but because you were so far ahead, you are still in front by 4 points.
Yeah, well, I'm letting you get a little bit closer just to keep it a little bit more entertaining, but I think I'm going to win this week.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
we'll see. We will see. Remember, the Championship is back in action midweek next week, so look out for a video on Monday. It's relentless, isn't it? On to the first game then, Sophie. Let's kick it off at the CBS on Friday night as Coventry City host the Blues, Birmingham City. Interesting matchup. Doesn't feel maybe as exciting as when we played them at home last season, which was right at the end of the season. Coventry were in the playoffs. This time round, I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised it's a TV game. Both teams are in the bottom half. Let's talk about Coventry first, Sophie.
Yep.
It does feel as if we're maybe slowly moving in the right direction. The results had been improving. We did lose at Ipswich, which isn't a disgrace, but I was just a little bit bemused as to why Mark Robins changed the starting 11.
Yeah, I don't understand why you change a winning side. I know that you're then away from home against a team that is absolutely flying, so maybe that got him thinking, like, oh, we need to make a little bit of a change. But personally, I wouldn't have.
No, and to be fair, Coventry only lost by 1 goal. We also missed a penalty, so we didn't disgrace ourselves. We're back at home in what is, I must say, a winnable game. Let's talk about Birmingham, Sophie. Wayne Rooney has now been there for, what, 8 or 9 games? Still just 1 win on the board against Sheffield Wednesday. And last week they let us down. We both backed them to beat Rotherham at home, and they drew 0-0. That's not a great result.
It's not good at all.
Rotherham, to be fair, they're all right when they're at home, but when they're on the road, you really should beat them. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of Birmingham City fans have voiced their opinions this season. Even us as Coventry fans feel like it was a strange decision to get rid of John Eustace, but that's where we are. I think it'll be close. I don't want to take this game for granted, Sophie, but I do think Coventry will just get the 3 points. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Coventry win. I think we might just have enough. We just need to get, I think if we get 1 goal, that should be enough, but yeah, I'll go 1-0.
For me, it feels like Coventry are very nearly there. Nearly in a way that we've got a lot of new players. We've changed our formation, and it's just getting it clicking. And I feel like we're nearly there. Coming up against Birmingham, could I see us beating them quite convincingly? Yes, I could, to be honest. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say 3-0 Cov. I've not been impressed with Birmingham and Rooney at all. And I feel like we're due, not a goal fest, but we're due turning a team over, and Birmingham, I think it's going to be you. So 3-0. I'd
like that result.
Of course we'd like it.
No, I'd like that result a lot. I think when it comes to Birmingham, although we don't tend to lose to them often, they try and make it cagey, don't they?
Yeah, and we do struggle against sides like that, but I don't know, I'm just feeling positive.
No, I like it. On to the next game, Sophie. This is a really interesting one as we go to Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers versus Leeds United. Sort of old school Premier League matchup back in the day, this one. Interesting, really. I mean, Blackburn Rovers had been in good form. Yes. I did tip them to lose to Sheffield Wednesday.
Good shout.
And they went and lost to Sheffield Wednesday. I also tipped Leeds to beat Middlesbrough 3-2.
Good shout again. Well done.
And they beat Middlesbrough 3-2.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Mystic Matt is going to get this one right. I reckon Blackburn score, but I think Leeds United just get it over the line. I think sometimes Leeds are just going to win by 1 goal, but it's the 3 points that matter. And I'm going to go Blackburn 1, Leeds 2. I think Farke is starting to build up some momentum, and they really need to keep that coming. They have got Ipswich to play later this month. Yes. I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds.
Yeah, I think Leeds need to just keep focusing on their games, getting the 3 points. Blackburn, they're obviously going to want to bounce back from that loss against Sheffield Wednesday, which not many people, bar you, expected that to happen, so well done. Leeds are just too good sometimes for me. I see it being another 3-2 win. I do see Blackburn getting a few goals because Leeds obviously can concede a few, but again, they're going to outscore them, so 3-2 for me.
Interesting. Okay, do share your thoughts on Blackburn Rovers versus Leeds. Next up, Sophie, we go to the Stadium of Light where Sunderland take on West Bromwich Albion. Another really interesting matchup. There's a lot of really big games, really, where some teams are playing teams around them in the division. Sunderland need a win, to be honest.
They do.
I don't know if a draw would be much good for them because they haven't won in a couple of games. They did get that 1-1 at Millwall, which you got correct.
Yes, I did call that.
That was a good prediction, that. But that was the draw that stopped the losing run. Now they need to win.
Build on that.
West Brom did lose last week, and I thought they played fairly well against Leicester, but they were very naive to then just chase a winner after equalising, and they left themselves open.
Yeah.
And Leicester went and won it. So if West Brom at the end of the season miss out on the playoffs by 1 point,
they'll be looking back at that game.
Back at that game. I don't think that will be the case. I think West Brom do look good to make the top 6, and I think I'm going to back them here, Sophie. Sunderland, a bit too inconsistent at the moment. I like Corberan and West Brom. I'm going to go Sunderland 1, West Brom 2.
I'm going to say clean sheet for West Brom. I feel like they need that, and Sunderland just aren't looking on it at all, to be honest. They did get a draw, which I thought they might, and they're obviously going to want to build on that now, but it's a tough game, this one. And West Brom, even against Leicester, they've been looking good, and I think they're going to get back to winning ways. So I'm going to say 2-0 West Brom.
2-0 West Brom. Interesting. Okay. Right, next up, Soph. This is an interesting one as well. We'll go down to South Wales, where Cardiff City take on Millwall. This one's a difficult one to predict, Sophie. Neither side's been particularly consistent recently. Cardiff have had...
Yeah, I'd say Millwall have been consistently bad. I would.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's weird with Millwall because they brought in a new manager.
Yes.
But the way they're playing, it looks as if they haven't got a manager.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a team floating around waiting for a manager to come in. But a decent draw against Sunderland last week, that might be a platform to go on for them. Cardiff have had some difficult games. They lost 2-0 at Southampton, which, once again, I did predict a 2-0 Southampton win. I think I'm going to go for Cardiff to win this one. Maybe just been a little bit better recently, but like I say, neither team's been particularly consistent. Maybe the home advantage will count for something. I'm going to go Cardiff City 2, Millwall 1.
Yeah, I'm going to go the exact same 2-1 Cardiff. I think the home advantage is going to be the key here. Millwall, they haven't looked that good. They did look slightly better against Sunderland, I will give them that. So they will be looking to build on that, but I don't see them walking away with anything. So I agree with you, 2-1 Cardiff.
2-1 Cardiff. Okay. Next up, Sophie, we'll go to the John Smiths, where Huddersfield Town take on Bristol City. Both sides conceded late goals at the weekend. Huddersfield Town were winning 1-0 at Swansea before conceding in the 94th minute or something, and it finished 1-1, which, once again, I did predict. Bristol City, they lost 2-1 at home to Norwich in the 95th minute or something. I didn't predict that one. You predicted 1-1.
Yes.
That late goal cost you a prediction.
Yeah, I think the ref just added on too many minutes there for me.
As for this one, Sophie, both sides will be looking to bounce back from those late goals. And I'm just a little bit more encouraged by Huddersfield Town recently.
Yeah.
They've really turned a bit of a corner, haven't they, under Darren Moore? And although it was a Darren draw last week, I'm going to go for a win. I'm going to go Huddersfield Town, just about keep the clean sheet this time. Huddersfield 1, Bristol City 0.
See, I'm actually going to back a draw here. I'm finding it hard to separate the two. Huddersfield have looked better. Bristol City haven't looked bad either, so I'm struggling to separate the two. So I'll go down the middle. 1-1.
1-1, yeah. I think Bristol City don't look bad under Manning either. So
they don't. It has looked better, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a draw as well. Okay, next up, Sophie, let's go to top of the table, Leicester City at the King Power as they host Plymouth Argyle. Both sides with a great win last week, and both sides winning it late on. Plymouth Argyle beats Stoke City at home. Leicester won 2-1 dramatically away at West Brom. And although Leicester, for the majority of us look like they should win the league, they've got to keep getting these points consistently because everyone around them is continuing to be consistent. And if Leicester drop points, they could be in trouble. I don't think they will drop points in this game, to be honest. I think Leicester City just too strong, and Plymouth are not as good away. We've said that. They've not won an away game yet. I did back them to lose away at Coventry, and then I did back them to win at home to Stoke, and they were both correct because Plymouth just do look that bit better at home. So it's not a total disgrace if Plymouth lose this game. I reckon they could give a good account of themselves and get a goal, but Leicester are just too strong. Leicester 2, Plymouth 1.
Yeah, Leicester almost have a bit of a point to prove for me now, because they have taken their foot off the gas a little bit. I think they got quite lucky in the West Brom game. Obviously, West Brom threw everyone up front and they capitalised on that. So fair play, you did walk away with the 3 points, but you're making it a little bit messy. So this one needs to be a bit more of a comfortable one to kind of restore some confidence. And I do see it happening because, as we've said, Plymouth aren't the same team away from home. They showed good character at home last week against Stoke to turn it around, but they are a much better team at home. So I'm going to give them a goal here, but Leicester win 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Sophie, are we saying this is maybe game of the weekend as Middlesbrough host Ipswich Town? This is a really interesting one. Middlesbrough have been such a joy to watch. I'm sure that although they're still not in the top 6, I'm sure they will get there this season.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling they will. And they've been really good against the top teams. They just lost at Leeds 3-2, but when they were at home to Leicester, they beat them 1-0, let's not forget. Ipswich Town, they beat Coventry. We do need to mention that goal from Wes Burns.
Absolutely filth, weren't it?
It's disgusting.
It was.
Save it. Do it against someone that's not Coventry.
Thank you very much.
Honestly.
Yeah, show a bit of respect.
Yeah, behave yourselves, Ipswich Town. I don't mind you being good, but not against Coventry.
Take the mick.
I've got to be honest, Sophie, this is screaming Desmond to me. I think Middlesbrough are a very good team and at home, but Ipswich Town, they don't lose many games.
They don't.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-2 here. Middlesbrough 2, Ipswich 2. I don't want to say any more. I just think it's too hard to call.
It is hard to call, but what I do see happening is there being goals. Ipswich, they're almost finishing teams off in the first half, so I wouldn't even be surprised if they went into half-time, say 2-0 up. But then not so good second half, so they need to get that nailed, although they're still in amazing form. But they're coming up against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough at home, they are quite good, so I am going to pick a winner in this one. And it's hard. I could flip a coin and, to be honest, be happy with either result. But I'm going to back Middlesbrough. I just feel like they're going to turn it around. I'm going to say Ipswich, 2-0 up at half-time, and then Middlesbrough turn it around second half and win 3-2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Middlesbrough 3-2.
Yeah.
I think that game is going to guarantee goals. Honestly, that is a great game. Share your thoughts, guys. Middlesbrough versus Ipswich. I've sat on the fence because I think that could go either way, to be honest. Next up, Sophie, let's go to Carrow Road, where Norwich City take on Preston North End. A couple of weeks ago, I'd have been pretty heavy on Preston. Yeah. Now I'm not too sure. Preston's form's dropped off a bit. They lost 2-0 at home to QPR on the Friday night. Don't know what that was about. But Norwich City, they won on Sunday 2-1 against Bristol City. I don't know. There's something about Preston, Sophie, that makes me think that they're solid enough to get something here, but maybe Norwich have turned a little bit of a corner. I'm stuck between a draw and a Norwich win, and do you know what? Let's not sit on the fence here. I'm just going to go with the home team. I think Norwich might just pinch this. If they can string together back-to-back wins and 3 wins in 4, then who knows? We might actually be saying, oh, they're back in the playoff chase. I mean, they're not a million miles away from it. No. I'm going to go Norwich 2, Preston 1.
Yeah, see, what we were saying about the last game, about it being exciting and loads of goals, I see it being the opposite in this one. I see it being a really low-scoring one. Norwich, have they turned a corner? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to back them to win, and I do think Preston are falling off it a bit now. 1-0 Norwich.
1-0 Norwich. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, Sophie, next up. This is a really interesting one out of nowhere in West London, where QPR take on Hull City. Once again, if you'd asked me this one a few weeks ago, I'd have been really heavy on Hull City. Now, Hull City are still in 6th place. They did lose at home to Watford last week. There was an unbelievable goal from Watford in that game, I must say. QPR, Sophie, fantastic result at Preston. And before that, remember, they beat Stoke 4-2 at home. I think I said 3-2 in the previous video. Sorry, I meant 4-2. So back-to-back wins, the goal difference improving. They've got a real chance of, staying up now. They just need Huddersfield Town to slip up a little bit, or Plymouth Argyle to wobble. And I do think QPR can start gaining on them. This is a difficult one, Sophie. QPR maybe have the slightly better form over the last 2 games. But I don't know, Hull City are very good. I like Rosinia. Yeah. They don't lose many games. So I think this will be a cagey 1-1 draw. I'm going to sit on the fence. I don't think that's a bad result for either. I'm going to go for a draw.
Do you know what? Given the recent results that QPR have been picking up, I'm going to back them to win here. And it's not often I go against Hull, because I do like Hull. And I do feel like they're going to finish right up there this season. But QPR's form in the last couple of games can't be ignored. And they need to build on that if they're going to not get relegated this season. So I do see them doing it. 2-1.
2-1?
Yeah.
Wow. Big prediction that. I know, I usually go for Hull City.
I do. I feel bad going against them.
I want to go say sorry to our friends in Hull.
Sorry.
We've let you down. We've not gone for you this week. Let's go to the next one, Sophie. The New York Stadium. Rotherham United host Swansea City. Rotherham, decent 0-0 at Birmingham last week.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to get anything from that, so fair play.
Yeah, they've been doing okay. They did get that 1-1 draw at home to Leeds a week or two ago. I think they're due a win because they've not won in a few. They've been drawing and losing. And if you look at QPR getting results, Huddersfield getting results, Sheffield Wednesday got a result. Rotherham really need to get a result. They don't want to be left behind. Swansea actually did Rotherham a favour last week by scoring that late goal against Huddersfield, didn't they? Do you know what, Sophie? Let's go for Rotherham. We do like them when they're at home. I'm going to go Rotherham 2, Swansea 1. I just think Rotherham are very effective at home and they need a win. I'm going to go Rotherham 2-1.
Yeah, Rotherham are a better side at home and they do need a win. A draw's not going to help them, but I see a draw playing out. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw.
But to be honest,
it doesn't really benefit either team, to be honest, a draw.
Good teams can go to Rotherham and come away with nothing. So, don't feel too bad for Swansea. I do think Swansea could so easily win that as well. But there's something about Rotherham at home. That is where they are strongest. A couple of games left, Sophie. Let's go to Stoke City, who host Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday have actually been improving. Albeit their 4 points picked up in the last 2 games were at home. Can they now get something on the road?
Maybe.
Sheffield Wednesday got a draw against Leicester in the last minute. Incredible point. And then they beat Blackburn 3-1. Stoke City lost at Plymouth Argyle last week. It's a difficult place to go and get results. So now Stoke City are at home. They're favourites for this one. I don't know, there's something about Stoke though that they trip over their own feet sometimes, don't they?
Yeah.
And maybe a draw plays out, which wouldn't be bad for Sheffield Wednesday. But I think Sheffield Wednesday really need to get more maximum points. They need to win games. Because they're playing catch-up, draws can only do so much for them. So do you know what, Soph? I'm going to go Stoke City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Oh, you're going to back them again?
I'm backing them again, Sophie.
Oh, I love that, because you got it right last time.
Sophie, honestly, Sheffield Wednesday, I'm telling you, they've got a chance.
Are they turning it around for you?
They've got a chance, that's all I'm going to say. And they're going to win this game 1-0.
I'm not going that far to say that they're going to stay up, but I'm going to give them a win. Stoke, what do I say about you, Stoke? You've not been doing as good, to be honest. But you're coming up against Sheffield Wednesday, so really you need to look at this game, go all out in it and get the 3 points. But Sheffield Wednesday have been looking a much better team. I'm only going to give them a draw though, but still it's a point on the road. 1-1.
Yeah, it's a good point for Sheffield Wednesday on the road, isn't it? Do share your thoughts. Stoke City v Sheffield Wednesday. Are Sheffield Wednesday able to actually stay up this season? I'm going to be right behind them, you know. Why not? They're like the underdogs now, aren't they?
They are. I do like an underdog story, but are they too far gone? No.
I feel sorry for their fans. We've said that a few times. Rubbish owner. Let's move on to the final game then, Sophie, and we go to Vicarage Road, Watford versus Southampton. Really good matchup. 2 teams in fantastic form. What a week for Watford last week. They beat Norwich 3-2 and then they beat Hull City 2-1 on the road. Southampton got back-to-back wins at home without conceding a goal. Oh,
it's a sad one, yeah.
I might have to sit on the fence, to be honest. Just to finish the video off, let's be nice and go for a draw. I think Southampton are very, very good going forwards. Adam Armstrong got a couple of goals last week. One of them was an absolutely fantastic finish. But Watford, as we said, they scored an unbelievable goal at Hull City last week. Both sides moving in the right direction. Both will really want that next win, but maybe they just have to shake hands on a draw here. Watford 2, Southampton 2.
I'm finding it really hard to call a winner here, but I am going to go for Southampton. They're just looking very good. They can't afford to be dropping points if they're looking at the automatics. Watford, all due respect to you, put in 2 really good performances, picked up maximum points there. So I'm going to say it's a low scoring one, but Southampton just pinch it for me. 1-0.
Oh, you had Southampton 1-0. Yeah. Interesting. Do share your thoughts on that one, guys. There is lots of great games this week in the Championship, so do make sure to get your predictions down below. While you're there, like I say, do make sure to help us hit 999 likes. Do make sure you are subscribed as well, as it is free to do. And thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.